welcome to the Alex Wilson Show. I'm here with Ryan Sinclair and Casey Flinn. What's up, guys?
How we doing?
How's it going?
Today we're going to talk about all kinds of crazy topics with you guys, and we're going to get into shootings and guns and assault rifles and crazy stuff. But the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is just something that's been on my mind a lot lately. If you're talking about something with a friend, all of a sudden, when you get online, either your phone or on Facebook, boom, there's an advertisement for it. And it's just so strange, whether it's Ryan and I went to Outback like a week ago, had dinner, everything was fine and dandy, food's great, and then we get home, and on Facebook, Outback advertisements.
So what was mind-blowing about on your phone, because it happened to both of our phones, but you actually searched Outback and looked for coupons. But for me, I didn't. It's just me actually going to the Outback. Now my phone, every time on Facebook, any social media, anything I brought up on my phone, even on the Sense thing that I have on the side of my phone.
So what do they do? Do they register in your card, or is it? Do you think they hear our conversations?
I think
Possibility. At least they know the location of where you're at.
Yes. So every time, I do apologize, but hold on, I want to get this before I forget.
You're fine.
Every time that you use Google, the Google Assistant, it tells you at the bottom, recording for voice recognition.
Well, I don't have Google. I use Siri.
So I don't know if Siri does that, but for Google, for sure, it says recording for voice recognition.
But it's not just this. I mean, I know so many people, though, that didn't Google coupons, or they were just having a conversation, and then, boom, advertisements.
Right. Well,
It's like they're listening.
yeah, they're doing it because it's a way of making money. But they're going to say, oh, it's convenient for you because this way you don't even have to look it up.
It's creepy.
We already know what you want. You know?
Well, I don't know if your phone does this, but for Google, for me, what happens is if I enter, let's say I go to 7-Eleven, or it'll ask, oh, how was your experience at the 7-Eleven? It wants me to review it. And that happens to every place I go to. Google's so smart now. No lie, I got out of my car once, and it said, this is where you parked your car, and gave an exact location. And then I could walk to it because I guess it realized how fast I was going. And when I fully stopped in a parking lot.
Well, we give them permission to everything now. I mean, you can't download an app, anything, without having... Yeah, literally. It's like, sell your soul, do you accept? Agree or not? And you have to agree to your notifications, location services, everything. You have to agree to all of their terms before you can use that app.
So, and then a lot of the times they ask, like, oh, do you want your location? You still say no. But then it says, oh, welcome. I'm not going to say what city we are in, but it says, oh, here's the deals for this city. And it's like, but I thought I denied my location. So no matter what, if you deny it or not, it still has your location.
Right. Interesting.
It's just so strange. I mean, I know a lot of people that are kind of ridiculous when it comes to, every app they download, they have to agree to all their terms and conditions, or, give it permissions to use this app. And it's just getting to be ridiculous. I mean, even when, you buy a brand new smart TV. You have to agree to the terms and conditions of the smart TV. Like, I have to agree to what? I'm just logging into Wi-Fi to use smart TV apps, and I have to agree to terms and conditions, and nobody's reading them. Right. But, I mean, who knows what's hidden into that sub-language?
Well, this way, if they find a picture of you that they want, they could be like, well, you agreed to it,
And that's what it is. That's how they get around it. Do you know that those companies, on their smart TVs, there's a camera in them?
Built in?
Built in every one. Because when they do service on them... they can pull up the tech and talk to them. So
these companies are trying to sneak stuff in, just like, and a lot of people don't know this, and a lot of the, even a lot of the older generations who are buying these consoles for their children and stuff to play, Xbox just tried to sneak that in, and they had to rework their whole system, but they were going to require you to have 24-hour internet access in order to use the system, as well as the camera had to be on 24/7.
I remember that, and then, because there
was almost riots over it, because, I mean, how creepy is that the camera has to be on all the time?
And you know what I find really strange now, and I'm really starting to see this a lot, is people are so scared of someone being watched. Like, I used to never see this, but every time I go to someone's house, they have their cameras covered.
Yeah, with tape.
With tape, or like a sticky note, or something, all the time. And people you would never think would do something like that, I was like, oh my goodness, this happens here too. Like,
I mean, I leave my cameras uncovered. They can watch me.
I mean, they can watch me all day, exactly. But we don't know, like, the little things. Like I said, with the smart TVs that have the cameras inside of them, it's for the technicians when they come to fix it, so they can talk to Samsung or whatever brand it is. But in all reality, all they have to do is give a couple minutes. They could get into your TV and just watch you.
That's so weird. That's so creepy. So we're gonna change topics here completely, and we're gonna get into a little bit of the shootings that are happening. We just had the Gazette shooting, which just happened. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. This is him. They said that people had reported him before. He's a strange-looking guy. He really is. And people,
I mean, I want him to be my neighbor.
People said that he had a restraining orders, and what was it, like he'd made threats, and they'd reported him. People even reported that said that he was going to be a shooter someday. They could tell, and he still was able to go buy a gun.
Wasn't that he threatened like government officials? Is that what it was?
Right, it was at the Capitol. Right, at the Capitol. I guess government officials apparently had like a falling out with the paper, and he didn't like what they were printing. I'm not exactly sure all of the fine print, but he definitely just killed 5 people with a shotgun.
Yeah.
One of the most, and I hate to say it, but the easiest obtainable rifle to get or gun is a shotgun. Right. You can go to Walmart, give them an ID, and you can walk out that day with a shotgun.
Yeah. Well, they walk the gun out to the parking lot first, and then it's yours.
So they actually walk you out to your car with it.
Well, that's not going to stop. That's not going to stop someone from just walking right past that man.
They don't have armed security at Walmart. So
no, the manager at Walmart, they do have a policy where they walk you with it. Well,
what are they afraid you're going to do? Shoot up the Walmart?
Right at the beginning, I don't know.
Like I just bought it, I'm going to go crazy.
But that's the thing.
But the thing is, they don't have anything to protect themselves anyways. Because last time I checked, there isn't any armed security guards at Walmart.
Not in the state and the city that we live in, but in some of the rough areas, there are.
So you can just walk out to your car. Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
And then
load it, walk right back in.
I didn't walk right past the manager.
They have no security there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My only big concern is I'm not saying it's millennials. It seems to be a lot of younger generation. They are wanting no weapons. They want them taken away. Because the school shootings, they're the ones that are all getting killed. And I get it. I understand. It's terrible. It's happening.
Did you say the younger crowd, or you said the older crowd?
It is the younger generations that they want them gone. They want them gone.
There was a time where they were saying, drop out of school today just so you can protest.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be going to school now. I would not want to be attending high school or middle school all over again because I would honestly be scared to go to school if there's a shooting because they're not protected. The schools aren't protected. I would be so afraid that either the cop that's protecting my school is a coward and doesn't do anything, which has been happening over and over and over, or, there's just no security at all, and we're just sitting ducks. And that's what a lot of these schools have turned into, and the kids don't feel safe.
No. Well, that's the thing. Even if there is a cop on campus, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but my high school is pretty big. How long do you think it's going to take that cop, one, to find the shooter?
It could be 30 seconds to a minute. Which is a long time.
Well, usually they sit up in the office area. So if he was, let's say it started over at the back of the school, it would take him, if he was running, 6 minutes, probably about 6 minutes to get from the front to the back. Am I right or am I wrong?
Right. No, you're right. And not just that, but he's not going to go against someone who's probably got an assault rifle, so he's...
Exactly. So he's already taken out a bunch of people by the time the cop got to him.
I already said this in a past. I did a little video a long time ago, and I honestly know how to stop school shootings. I really do. I'm telling you, I do. But the government, I feel like they don't care. I really do. It doesn't take a genius to stop school shootings. I mean, honestly, when our airports are safer, you can't walk into the airport with an AR-15 and go get on a plane. It's not happening. You have to go through TSA. So with all the cops and security that airports have, why are they not implementing that into our schools? You implement, one way in, one way out. You lock it down. Metal detectors, scanners, TSA type security. You're not bringing nothing in.
So one of my friends has a child in an elementary school, and I went there to go do something with them. And actually, it was on lockdown. That school was on lockdown. There was a gate all the way around.
But the kids are getting in.
No. There's one way in, one way out. There's one way in, one way out. And the only way to get in is through... Sorry. The bus ramp had an on-ramp too, but there's a guard there. Mm-hmm. But the other way is through the front office, but you have to go into the office, and the other door's locked.
Well, you have to get buzzed in.
You have to get buzzed in.
Well, the kid that just did the one school, he got buzzed. There was someone coming out of the school, and he just went in when the door was open. He waited for someone to open the door and come out.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. Wow.
So he didn't have to get buzzed in. He just waited for someone to leave. The door's open. He went right in.
Well, that was the thing about that one is that after the buses stopped, and there was no more buses, you could only enter from there. But that school, you had to enter in through the office, and there was always 3 to 4 ladies just sitting there. They had to clear you before you could exit. So if someone opened that door and there was a guy waiting there, they would not let him go through.
That was the Parkland one. I'm pretty sure he just got he didn't get buzzed in himself. Someone else had been buzzed in, and he just went in with that person or told them to leave, and then he had went in. But I'm just saying, if we have metal detectors and we have them locked down, because it seems to be a trend that these students or ex-students, because they were bullied or whatever the cause may be, they're mentally unstable, they used to go there, they don't go there anymore. The trend is it's ex-students or students that are doing it.
Right.
It's not grown adults. It's not ISIS. It's students that are doing it or ex-students at that school because of whatever had happened in the past. But if you did have a TSA type security and, and give every teacher a button like at a bank. So if something happens, they suspect one of their students in their class is doing something or just is acting funny, they press the button and that alerts all of the staff, all of the armed security at the school. They immediately go on lockdown. And those agents move to that classroom and shut that thing down. They shut it down.
So my concern, and what I think one of the reasons why they're not doing it, just for our district alone, and some of the other districts that I know about, is that they're so underfunded now. And I know that I think you've brought up.
Well, okay, so exactly. So what you do is so two methods for that would solve it easy. For one, you could at least start at the private schools. Start at the private school sector, have those do it. I'm sure parents would love to spend a little extra money a month knowing that their student's going to be safe. Because, they're locked down in a bunker all day. They are coming home completely safe, without a doubt in their mind, because of how many armed security guards are there and how locked down it is. And then for the districts that can't afford it, that are, poverty schools or just public schools that are in areas that can't afford it, there would be so many volunteer ex-military, ex-cops that would love to do that, to protect that school, and you could have them vetted and everything. And, that would be one method to get those funded for, all the volunteers.
And that makes that really does bring up a good point. But for me, I would hope we would try and give them something. Like, I know people would volunteer, but, these people are putting their lives at the
Banning guns is not going to stop mass shootings. It's not going to stop it because the bad guys are what?
Bad.
They're still gonna get them. They're still gonna get the guns.
You can't stop someone from. It's like you can't stop someone from stealing a car. You can put an alarm on a car. It doesn't stop them. They're just gonna rip the alarm off and drive away.
But you can clearly see that's what this agenda is all about.
It's about stopping guns. Yeah. So what would happen if they took all of our guns away? There's still gonna be shootings. Mm-hmm. And the sad part, real quick, and we can touch on all kinds of bases with this, but the sad part is even if we lock down our schools. And I hate to say this, but if you lock down the schools with the craziest security, we got helicopters up top, and they're just a force field around it like an X-Men movie. Mm-hmm. Then they're just going to start doing malls and movie theaters and Walmarts, and I think it's just going to change to a different area. It's not about just the schools. I think it's just easy accessible, but once you lock that down, if airports weren't locked down now, we'd have more problems.
Right. True.
No, I definitely agree with that. The only thing I would bring up is that the reason why the school shootings keep happening, it's not that, malls and everything are not getting shot up, but the reason is for the schools that the kids were bullied or something, so they have a revenge, plot ready to go, and that's what's pushing them to pick the school. So do I think that malls and everything are a little more risk? No, because no one's getting, you're not going to the mall every day to get bullied.
Bullying's never going to stop.
It's never going to stop. No, there's too many. Every family.
Why is it so much bigger now? Back then it was Columbine, but that's really the only story. There was maybe a college, I think, also had an issue. But now it seems like it's almost like...
Well, apparently it's saying it. From statistics, it's saying it's almost every week. There's been 23, over 23 this year so far, school shootings alone.
No, I want to interrupt you on that and actually state that it's actually... So a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of these news articles say that there was a school shooting, let's say, and I forget, Florida. There was one in Florida and everything like that. But actually, it's not a school shooting. Either someone got caught with a gun, some close to a school, or
they're identifying. What you're saying is they're identifying. Even if someone got caught in the parking lot with a gun unloaded, they would consider that a shooting, and they would document that into the statistic number to make it
more beefy.
Right. Yeah, so more extra for the media,
or less, or the like a cop accidentally discharged.
They would consider that in the school shooting
So now it's ramping up. They're like, oh my goodness, school shootings getting out of control. Even though like probably two or three of them was actually an officer who accidentally discharged his weapon, which happens. Guns fail.
Right.
And so, but they're like, oh, now we're up to 20. Oh, look, there's another one, 24. And they keep pushing that number up because it scares the public.
Right.
And what's the fastest way to move something?
Scare the public.
Scare the public.
Make them fear.
And that's what's happening. Kids are afraid of guns now.
So I think honestly,
well, these kids they're not buying them. They're getting them from, they're stealing them. Some have bought them, but I mean, because you could be how old to buy a shotgun? How old to buy a gun?
18 years
18.
old.
So
21 for a handgun.
Right. Well, that's in our state. And different states have different laws, but they're just stealing them from grandpa, from dad, a neighbor. They can just take it.
I mean, who didn't have a parent that owned a gun when they were a child? I did. Did you?
My parents had a gun, yeah.
It's just crazy. It just is unbelievable. And it's not just, look at the Gazette. That's not a school. Right. Its shootings in general have peaked. The numbers have peaked. And I don't think all of them might not be organic. A lot of them might be staged. A lot of them the government might that the left might be paying them to do it.
That's what I was actually going to bring up, is because it's strange that a lot of these school shootings do happen when something's going on. Either a bill's being passed, or if you look at some of the biggest events that ever happened, like bills being passed under our nose and everything like that, which is known, it's been known for a long time. Something crazy happens. Either a bomb goes off somewhere or a shooting happens somewhere, and then the focus is changed to that. Now we don't think about that bill anymore. Oh, we're going to get screwed on our taxes. No, we don't think about that anymore. We think about... don't get me wrong. If these are staged, this is terrible. Because people are losing their lives. And these...
Children. Kids.
Children. This should never happen.
Well, and then you got that David Hogue guy. Remember him?
No, I don't remember him. You're gonna
okay, so there was a guy. I think his name was David Hogue. Okay. He just so happened to be at a California school shooting as a student. Moved to Florida, and he was a victim. Almost got shot there, and he was another victim of a school shooting in Florida.
What are the
odds?
I didn't remember his name, but I remember.
Weird. That is weird.
I remember.
And he was on every news station. Every news station.
Don't they have? Correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe you could tell me this, but don't they have like CNN? Like, haven't they admitted that they have these people to hype up situations?
Crisis actors.
Yeah, that's what they. Yeah, he's a crisis actor. Now he's doing all the rallies and everything. He got interviewed for the California shooting, and then he got interviewed for the Florida shooting.
Wasn't it like
And now he's an activist against guns.
Well, what scares me is he's 18 years old and he's not a senior in high school. Like it's
I'm
like
not
those.
Sure what grade he is.
It's those. I'm pretty sure that he said they was a sophomore. So, but people don't check these things. Am I right or am I wrong? Did people check facts, or did they just go to imright.com and then this has to be right. This Facebook said it. This has to be right. I knew
this topic was going to take up the majority of the talking time for today. The gun control. Where do you think gun control is going?
We're losing our guns.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, we can't stop school shootings because they don't want them. They obviously don't want it to stop.
They want it to stop when the guns are out of our hands. There's a reason this is happening.
So what are they going to ban? All guns or just assault rifles?
Why do you think that there's a reason why this happened? Like, you kind of heard my reasoning, but what do you think?
First of all, before we even get to discussing what they're taking away, we have to talk about assault rifles. I'm so sick of the news and the media calling them assault rifles. Do you guys know what assault rifle definition is?
Yeah.
It's a rapid-fire, magazine-fed, automatic rifle designed for infantry use. Everything that's black and it's a gun is considered assault to the media. The media has portrayed that everything black is an assault rifle. An AR-15 is not fully automatic.
No, it is not.
It's not. And it's just so crazy that...
It's single shot, isn't it?
It is. It's semi-automatic. It's a semi-automatic.
Oh. Those will be the first to go. And then...
well,
they're gonna definitely beef up.
The M16 rifle was the military's version, and I believe the AR-15 is the civilian version of the M16. We're not allowed to own fully automatic weapons, and if we are, it has to be... There's all kinds of licensing we have to get. They can come to our house at any time. And who is it? Oh my gosh. There's an organization that is it ATF can come to your house at any time. I think if you have a class 3 license for automatic firearms, they can come to your house at any time and just go through your arsenal, see what you have. They can just go through it. So anyway, so the AR-15 is the is the semi-automatic civilian version of the M16 military rifle, which is automatic, which is an assault rifle. I'll call that assault. But then again, let's break down the word assault even more. Has it assaulted anyone yet?
No, it is not. You ever see those comics or those jokes that you see on Facebook and stuff like that? It's like I put my shotgun in a chair.
It's been sitting there all day.
It's been
hasn't
sitting there all
assaulted
day.
anyone. My gun hasn't killed anyone.
And
all
that's
day.
what I tell people. And people fight me all the time. It's like guns do not kill people, and it's true.
People kill people.
People kill people because the gun. It's rare when a gun discharges itself.
If
and
you
last
wanna-
time I checked, a discharge didn't hit someone.
But I mean, honestly, let's talk about things that are even bigger than guns. Cancer kills more people a year. Medical malpractice kills more people a year than guns. Knives kill more people than guns do a year. I'm talking all guns put together. All guns in America put together, handguns, rifles, shotguns, all of them. Medical malpractice kills more people in a year than guns do, and so do knives and blunt objects. But then again, who's feeding us those statistics? FBI, all these other organizations. But if they were to take all of our guns away, which I don't think they can.
I think, if I remember right, there's a statistic that said there are more DUI deaths.
I'm sure there is.
Than people being gunned by. I'm
sure there is.
Like, then why aren't we cracking down more on DUIs?
So Casey, talk about them taking our guns away.
All right. Well, it's always been an agenda. It's been an agenda for a very long time. They need to disarm us so that it'll be easier to control us.
So how
it's like we're really a monster to them with teeth, and the minute they can
the people
the people are
well the Second Amendment giving us guns and
the right to bear
the right to bear arms
they're gonna start,
but that was in place for us to protect ourselves from the government.
Yes, but we the people also have control, and if the majority are saying you shouldn't have a gun. In fact, Alex, your gun, you don't need to have that gun. And you're going to start looking. This is down the road. This is going to be right around the corner. It's got to be one at a time because you got to slowly make it to where, it's okay to have this gun, but not this one. And then before you know it, you can't even have a water gun. Okay?
Right.
Well, the thing is people have to realize is that as the Americans, they might be passing this stuff, but at the end of the day, we have the final vote. But people are too scared to go down there and say something.
I feel like these senators and these people who do the big the speaking events talking about taking away our weapons, that is them not protecting our Second Amendment right. So technically they're traitors because they took an oath to protect all of the amendments of the Constitution, and by them wanting to take bits and pieces away of our guns, whether it be just any part of a gun that they take away, is them dismantling our Second Amendment.
But that's how they're going to do it.
They took an oath to uphold the Second Amendment.
100%, and that's the thing. That's what we should be questioning, and that's why they're doing little bits and pieces, because you don't want to rile up the American citizens. Because if America, it'll be a civil war all over again.
It's that.
It's unbelievable. You know what they do in I believe it's oh my gosh, Israel. About 4 or 5 of the teachers have a gun, and you don't know which one has it. And they rotate them all the time. Never have school shootings. But then people will argue the fact other countries don't have any school shootings because they don't have any guns at all. I still think the bad people are going to get them no matter what.
So look at Britain. Britain is a country that they don't carry weapons. They don't carry weapons at all, and they don't really let their citizens have weapons either. Right?
Right.
They almost beat us on shootings.
Well, I do know they have more stabbings than we do.
Well, let's talk about this real quick. So, you can't use the military against its own people.
You can only use the National
Guard and the CDC.
Yep.
So, they would have to come door to door and take our guns away.
Right. They know you have it, so they're going to come get it.
And I honestly believe, and I'm going to read you guys a little something interesting here. So, any country that had ever taken all of their guns away from their people, it was followed by mass genocide. So any country in history that started with gun registration followed by confiscation was followed by genocide. So check this out. 1929, the Soviet Union established gun control. From 1929 to 1953, 20 million people were rounded up and murdered.
By their
government. Yeah. Turkey. I'm not going to read all the dates. 1911, Turkey. It was how many were 1.5 million rounded up murdered. Germany, 1938.
They picked religion. It was Christianity. Like,
Right,
that's why they
right.
wanted to get rid of them.
Germany established gun control from 1939 to 1945. 13 million Jews and others were rounded up and exterminated. China, 20 million. Guatemala, 100,000 Mayan Indians exterminated. But these were all countries that implemented gun control and took guns away and confiscated them. There was always mass genocide. Cambodia, Uganda, all of these. So what does this stop China? What does this stop the countries from doing it from us? What's to stop the government from mass killing us if they take all of our guns away?
Nothing will stop it. Eventually, it's going to happen. I'm telling you.
But you get what I'm saying? So they take all of our guns away. What's to stop them from?
And then all of a sudden, we also are getting rounded up.
we get a psychotic leader that wants to just kill everyone with brown hair.
Exactly. Or anyone who doesn't have an IQ of 3.5.
I don't believe it'll be a person. I think it'll be the
GPA,
majority of the
my
public.
bad.
That if you don't go this way, if you're not this way, then you don't need to be here. And that could be a whole other topic about the FEMA camps and the coffins. They have so many coffins right now ready to go, and they got them.
FEMA camps. Oh my gosh, hundreds of thousands of millions of coffins. I've seen them.
Yeah.
What do they have those for? What are they there? And they're stackable. You can fit 3 or 4 bodies in one coffin and stack them on top of each other. So they're getting ready. They're getting ready.
So if you ever bring up any of that stuff on YouTube,
And they're in tons of states. It's not just one state that has them. Those FEMA coffin camps are in a ton of states. In the, I think Arizona, Georgia, Chicago. They're everywhere.
And the Walmarts that are being shut down right now are being converted into FEMA camps.
No,
that's actually true.
Yes,
Yes, I
that's
did.
true.
I did read
Yeah.
that.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, because Walmart is closing a bunch of stores.
Anytime you see a Walmart that gets shut down, you see military
Right afterwards.
Right there.
So people, like, you put it on YouTube, and when you see people in the United States seeing convoys go by with military vehicles, and the citizens are, I think, a little more getting scared. But the thing is, and I apologize if I interrupted with you, the country's so divided. And that's why they keep bringing up these little things for us to fight about. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
It's like they put a picture, someone on Facebook, some like really important person. There was an 8-year-old on the back of a motorcycle, and then it was just people fighting. And when something big was going on, there was just people going at it left and right about the girl on the motorcycle. It's like, guys, stop. We have more important things to worry about as a country. Like, if that mom wants to do it that way, fine. Let's focus on really needs to be focused on. And that's the thing, is we're divided as a country. You have the left, the right, the conservatives, and everything like that. And we're never going to agree. And that's what they want. They want us to never agree.
Well, now we're into, a completely different style. I think the future of America is changing so much, where there's riots over them taking away whipped cream for your coffee. There'd be riots. I mean, everyone has to complain about something, and everyone's right. And I think, just America's changing. But as far as them taking all of our guns away, we'll see what happens. I mean, it took a lot to get bump stocks banned, which they just did. I think the next thing, if I had to guess, would be high capacity mags.
Yep.
Them taking guns in their hole away.
No, what he brought up, which is a very good point, Casey, is that they're gonna start small. They're gonna start picking at the gun. They're gonna take away the laser sights and the little things. Then they're gonna be like, well, you don't have anything for it anyway. Let's just take the gun with it. Yeah. I mean, that's what's going to happen, is that you're going to keep making it okay. It's like when remember when I brought up...
And then so what? We're gonna have police that have no guns? They're just carrying batons? No,
the police will have guns.
Well, in Britain they don't.
Yeah, but it's always been like that.
And they still have shootings.
And they still have shootings, and they have a lot of them.
Well, the military has bought quite a bit of bullets lately. I mean, so they're...
But again, the military cannot... I mean,
what do you mean they bought a lot of bullets lately?
Well, they've been purchasing. I don't have the exact number, but...
Well, we're not at war. Last time I checked.
Well, we will be.
So they're just stockpiling.
Yeah. So they want you to get rid of your gun, but they're going to keep plenty of it.
Well, again, like they can't... I mean, the government's trying to get rid of our Second Amendment right, which is in the Constitution, but they also state that the military can never be used against the American citizens.
This is another...
What's going to stop them?
Another fact. So Japan... This is what it takes to get a gun in Japan. Are you guys ready for this? So in Japan, which has strict laws for attaining firearms, seldom has more than 10 shooting deaths in a year, and their population is 127 million people. If Japanese people want to own a gun, they must attend an all-day class, pass a written test, achieve at least a 95% accuracy during a shooting range test, Then they have to pass a mental health evaluation at a hospital, as well as a background check in which the government digs into any criminal records or ties and interviews friends, family, and family members. Finally, they can only buy shotguns and air rifles, no handguns. And then they must retake the class and the initial exam every 3 years. That's just to own a shotgun.
Yeah, that's actually harder than getting my security license with armed.
And then you got people here, which I don't understand, who have restraining orders, said they were going to shoot a place up, and sure, sir, how many boxes of ammo do you want? I mean, they just sell them whatever they want. So where...
I think that would be a better approach than just take our guns from us. But they think, we're not responsible.
I mean, I would rather regulations be stricter, I think. I mean, absolutely stricter than for them to take anything away from us.
And I would be okay with that as well, is to walk in and I had to go through a little extra to be able to keep...
Well, that's because you and I are good. I will jump through hoops to get a gun because I know I have a clean record. There's nothing I would do wrong. I'm a great citizen of America. I'm not gonna go out there and commit crimes with it.
I still have the good driver on my driver's license. I mean, I'm
right.
a good citizen.
That's what I'm saying. So, but it's us who will follow those rules and jump through hoops, and it's the bad people who won't. They'll just steal it or find other methods to get it. Buy one on the
have
street
it just to protect ourselves so we can sleep nice.
From the people that are robbing
our
house.
The day this country decides to take our guns away and we're no longer allowed to protect ourselves from the government or other people, we're done.
This country will riot.
I'm moving to the North Pole.
I don't think that'll happen. I think there's too many gun-wielding Americans that will never let that happen.
Well, who's going to riot? Because all the bad people will still have their guns. They won't have their guns taken away because
it'll be like
the bad people aren't. Most of the bad guys, we'll just call them bad guys. Their guns aren't registered to them. They were stolen. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to still have their guns. It's the good guys that won't have theirs. So the good guys are going to riot?
That's what I'm saying, is that I don't believe that they're going to allow that to happen. It's just that America's going to go, no, and they're going to riot.
You say that, but I think with this new generation of people coming in here,
we still have a lot of the older folks.
For now. That's just like the cashiers at Walmart. They're there now. That's only for the old people. They've already said that. Once they die, then they're going to be completely...
No, but for me, I will never go through a self-checkout.
Well, then you won't be shopping at Walmart.
That's perfectly fine.
And that's how it's going to be. They've already said that they're going to
right.
make it
How do we get from guns to self-checkouts?
I'm just saying, I know we get off topic a little sometimes, but it's a point of worth bringing across.
I just, we'll see what happens. I definitely think they're going to bring on more regulations, but what are guns... When I guess the ideology behind guns is they're bad. They're bad.
Well, that's what
they kill people. They're bad, right? That's the ideology that mainstream media shoves down people's faces. Mm-hmm. Guns are bad. They go boom, they kill people, they're bad. But like I said, no one's talking about medical malpractice killing more people in a year than guns. Drunk drivers.
That doesn't make
news.
news.
They're not talking about it. Nobody cares.
That doesn't make news. That doesn't make news. I mean, DUI, that happens every day. So why do I care about a DUI when we need to focus on guns? Guns are going to kill me and my neighbors and everybody around me. Like that, people DUI are not driving through houses, taking their whole family out.
Switzerland or whatever it is, just give everybody guns. Everybody gets one.
I'll
see you on the other side. Wild West, outlaws. See you on the other side.
Well, again,
it'll be interesting what happens, but they're pushing for it.
So you think there's going to be a purge?
Which is funny that's coming out, this week? Did it come out already?
The Purge? Yeah. I haven't seen any of them,
honestly.
I haven't
seen any
of
them,
the first
honestly.
Purge.
Yeah, no.
They do that on purpose.
I just know I have.
They do that on purpose.
What?
They want that to happen.
They want the Purge to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, people really do.
Why?
I've talked to people that would say that they have a list. And I'm like, this is why.
I mean, America would love us to be smaller. We'd be much more easier controlled if we were a smaller country. But as far as the Purge goes, I don't see that ever happening.
It's a fast way to...
All of the military and police would have to go on strike for the Purge to happen.
It's only for one day, though.
It's never going to happen,
dude.
though.
This place would be destroyed.
Well, okay. If we didn't have internet and Visa was down, Visa, MasterCard, and we had no internet for 24 hours, we'd be a problem.
I was going to say the Purge never happened. Like, if everything was fine and they're just like, hey, we're just going to no crime. No, retailers would go, no. Like, they're going to rob our stores. Like, it would never happen. Like, corporate America would never let that happen. Because where would you go? Like, it's crime is legal. Do whatever you
corporate
want.
America is the billions of dollars. So I mean, them getting a
getting a
couple of
Lambo.
stores robbed.
You think a couple
That's a big
stores?
deal.
I think every store in this district. If crime is legal, just go kick the door down at Walmart.
You mean
and
for
go-
one day?
No, I
Yeah,
grab
one
a,
day.
a Lambo and just go to my house real quick and just hope I don't get killed on my way home.
Well, I just, you know,
Exactly,
it's going to
that's
be
what I'm
really
saying.
interesting to see because I definitely think they're going to be back to kind of the original topic, gun control. They're going to continue to keep ban stuff.
No,
Yeah, they're gonna nitpick.
it's doing the frog effect. That's what they're doing.
But are they actually? Do you think we're going to see in
love
our
that.
lifetime? Do you think in our lifetime we're going to see the CDC and the National Guard go door to door and confiscate?
No.
No, eventually, and this goes way off topic, but it has to do with the guns. Is that if you're not chipped, then you're coming with them.
I don't think we're gonna see that in our
So
lifetime.
you don't think they're? But I'm saying back. I mean, regardless of the chips, RFID chips. But I mean, do you think we're actually going to? There's going to be a reset. The government's going to say we want all of the guns. They're done. There's been too many shootings. We've hit the limit, the peak of Mount Everest. Just
it's getting
the one
stupid
straw that
killing now.
broke the camel's back. Too many innocent people are
And I
getting shot.
admit, I actually have a fear of going anywhere where there's a lot of people all at once. Like I want to go to that
It's scary.
Bushman thing
It's
that
scary.
my sister wants to do, but I'm scared.
Concerts. It's scary now.
Yeah.
You don't know what anyone's gonna do.
I went to ZombieCon, and everybody was carrying those fake guns around. I'm thinking, this would be a perfect, and I even said this to myself, this would be a perfect time to spray everyone down. And I thought, I didn't feel safe, so I told my ex, I said, we need to get out of here.
Right.
10 minutes later, there was a shooting.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
Oh, I forgot you were down there.
Well,
when
it
that
just,
happened.
it's, I mean, scary. Any of these big, whenever there's a large gathering of people, it almost makes you feel a little timid.
Yeah,
And
I'm
back,
not joking
back when
on
I
that.
was in school, and I'm not that old. I'm not that old. When I was in school,
I never
I never
that.
thought about a school shooting.
Nope, never.
I never thought about school shooting at all.
I just couldn't wait to get out of there.
I never thought about any of that. Did you? I never thought about it in school.
No, we never had that issue.
No.
But I will say the reason why I had that weird feeling is there was people coming into that event that weren't wearing clothes. What I mean is they weren't wearing
They weren't wearing a costume.
They weren't wearing a costume, and I'm not gonna say who they were, but they were people that seemed a bit
Off.
Well, I think the future too, and we'll wrap this up here soon. But I think definitely in the future, I guess, I was kind of forced to go outside and play as a kid.
Me too.
Go outside and play. And I just want to briefly touch on this. I think this is kind of why shootings have kind of been upped, especially in the children, like the generation that we have going on now. They have so many problems with them. Like, you take a 17-year-old now or a 16-year-old now versus a 16-year-old 20 years ago. Now they've got depression, bipolar, this disease, that disease, this anxiety disorder, this disorder, this disorder. And 20 years from now, I mean, it's going to be unreal, the problems with these kids.
So I wanted to bring up a point is that when I worked for a company I won't say, but it was it was a coffee place. This is back when I was in college and everything like that. There'd be, I mean, this wasn't that many years ago. There'd be like 17-year-olds that would walk up to the counter, and I'm like, "Hey, what can I get for you today?" And they'd be scared to talk to me. And they would look at their mother or father and be like, "Can you order for me?"
Yeah.
Like, no, just tell me what you want. And like they were so intimidated by me to talk to me because they're so group. I can't tell you how many times I went over to one of my buddy's house and him and his sister and her friend were texting each other. They were sitting right next to each other.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What are they doing, dude?" And he goes, "Oh, they're texting each other." I said, "Dude, why don't they just turn and look at each other?"
It's gotten weird. In fact, some of the millennials after college, they've been inviting their parents to their interview because they need help with it.
Well, think about it. So you're born nowadays.
really?
I mean,
Oh
I had
my
a flip
goodness.
phone. I had a flip phone.
I love my flip phone.
Right, I had a flip phone. Before that, actually, I had no flip phone. It was just a Nokia with you could play Snake Game.
That was the best game
That's
ever,
it.
though.
Or those Geo games where you feed that little
these-
monster.
But what I'm saying is, well, I have
Tamagotchi?
no idea what you're talking about. Tamagotchi.
Not even close. The Geo thing.
But think about it. These kids, man. These kids are born with an iPhone. They're looking at a screen. Their first car, right? Instead of dials, like dials, analog, it's a digital screen. Everything's a screen. Then they go home. They're looking at a computer screen. They're watching TV. It's a screen. Everything's a screen. They're not told to go outside and play. Everything's a screen. So their mind is just Snapchat, ooh, Instagram, ooh. It's just screen. Everywhere you go, and they're just being fed all of this stuff over and over and over and over.
and they don't get a break from it. Either you're looking at your phone or you're looking at your computer. I don't know about you, but when I get away from working and everything like that, I like to unwind and not have technology in my face. I would rather stare at a wall for an hour. Just calm down, get the technology, don't look at my phone.
I feel like, honestly, I just feel like a lot of these kids, I mean...
I feel bad for
I
them.
honestly don't think bullying nowadays is any different than bullying back in the day. I honestly don't. Bullying's still bullying. I don't think it's gotten worse. I mean, how would it have gotten worse?
But look, no.
Calling someone names and putting them down hasn't changed over 20 years.
Yeah, but the
It's
difference
just,
is...
nowadays, is every kid that's 17 has some disorder because of the way they were raised, so... they're mentally unstable now.
So I will say that it is a lot easier, because how easy it would be to find, you know what, I don't like this Robert kid. Find him on Facebook.
Well, now it is, yeah.
It is a lot easier.
Well, I think I'll change that. I think bullying might be a little bit worse now because you can do it over the internet.
You can do it over the internet.
Cyberbullying. So cyberbullying. So bullying has gotten worse then. Yeah. It's not.
So because you got to think,
you could be at home and they could bully you on your phone.
So
back in the day, you duke it out in the front yard. You know, I've even heard stories where parents like, go get Timmy from down the street. You guys are duking it out right now in the yard. And parents like promoted it. Like, you guys are going to fight it out. You guys are going to shake hands. And then you guys are going to eat dinner and you guys are going to go to bed. You know what I mean?
So, I mean,
now it's like, but now it's like, well, I Snapchatted them. I'm going to go kill them. You know, now it's escalated to a point where it's all cyberbullying. And I definitely think it's not just the simple Popeye the Sailor Man in the front yard and we shake hands and we're friends. Now it's escalated to a point where, you know, technology's ruining America. Mm-hmm. It really is. All right, guys, that's going to be it for tonight. I hope you guys have an awesome week. Thank you so much for tuning into the Alex Wilson Show.
And have a great night. Oh, and comment and subscribe.
Yeah, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, guys. Love doing this. We're going to have all kinds of new videos coming in the future for you guys. Appreciate it.